If you haven't had an opportunity to watch Californication's episode called Julia, stop listening now. Major spoilers. Here we go. Yeah, it seems like this season is going to end with a perfect 10 out of 10 star rating, man. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, man. Like, I was blown away by tonight's episode. Just the amount of information that we're given and the ending. So, here we go. We know that there is this kid now in Hank Moody's life. His name is Levon. Levon Moody. Let's just call him that. Yeah, Hank has a kid, man. It's from a relationship that happened 20 years in the past with who I thought inside of the series was the crazy dentist lady. The lady that was, I guess you can say, like, preoccupied with health care, the care of the teeth, the dental care aspect of a relationship, than anything else. Like, that's what she cared about. And it was kind of awesome, not gonna lie, man, to see Heather Graham. And inside of the episode tonight, she actually said, you know, Hank, let me see your teeth. You know, do you have a cavity? You know, and then she asked him, when was the last time you had that check? It was just, it's moments like those that you just sit here and you smile and you laugh and you just think to yourself, like, how is it possible that this show is ending? You know, it doesn't make any sense, man. The episode starts off, man, with Karen and Hank Moody. They're together. They're holding hands. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a beautiful embrace, man. And the whole theme is that you're ready to embrace change. And I'm telling you, dude, like, the smile on Karen's face, it's gonna absolutely melt your soul. You know, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, either this has to be a dream, like this is some sick and twisted thing that the producers and director and writers wanted to do to us, but it's real. It's actually happening. You actually see, I guess you can say, good behavior, good behavior from Hank Moody being rewarded by the love and affection of Karen. And I love that. I'm like, bravo, bravo, please, let's get to the end where they get married and everything's good to go. But we're talking about Hank Moody here, and we're talking about Californication, and then we understand that this is just Hank and the gang kind of hanging out, and it's just like, I guess you can say, a date night. And what's going on is Charlie's having some performance issues again, and they're still trying to resolve that, okay? Marcy's explaining in detail about his performance issues, and all four of them just start laughing, man. It's one of the best intros to Californication that you'll ever witness. I promise you that, man. Then after that, we get the Californication intro that has, you know, the reel and the film rolling, and then the introduction to the cast and all that good stuff. And then after that, we see Hank and Charlie. They are walking down some type of California business area, if you will, and it's Charlie taking Hank to work, where he lets him know, he says that this is all part of my 15% pay now. It used to be 10, but now he's a manager, and he gets 15% now, and that 5% is to make sure that Hank arrives to work on time. And what's kind of funny, man, is as they're walking, Levon is calling Hank Moody, you know, Levon, his son, is calling Hank Moody, and he's trying to trick him into FaceTime, all right? And Hank continues to just ignore him. You know, I don't know how the FaceTime works, man, but I have used it one time, and it's absolutely hilarious, man, because it's an awesome feature, but it's just time consuming. And if you really don't like the person that is on the other side of the FaceTime, the chances of you actually accepting that is slim to none, okay? And that's That's all I'll say about that. So I actually laughed at that. You get to see a little bit more information, man, about and some of the characters that are going to be inside this season, that are inside of the office. I guess you can call them like a lunchbox or toolbox of writers, okay? And it's writers from all different races, ethnicities, genders, etc., man. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. It's like a melting pot of love, if you will, man. All of a sudden, man, Hank's phone rings, and it's Levon again on FaceTime, and Hank Moody is distracted, so he presses the wrong button, and the FaceTime starts, and then you see Levon doing FaceTime, man. It's absolutely hilarious. It's 100% hilarious, man. So, Levon invites Hank over to his house, and then I got to talk about this for about a good 35 seconds, man. Hank Moody knocks on the door. As soon as he knocks on the door, Levon opens the door up with me so fast. He says, "Oh, hey, were you knocking for a while? I was just in here listening to some tunes." And then Hank replies back, he's like, "No, I actually just knocked, and then I noticed that, you immediately opened the door, so I was able to kind of see that, you were probably waiting behind the door." And it's just one of the most, I'm telling you, it's so awkward, man, but it's so funny because the mannerisms between Levon and Hank Moody, I mean, you could tell, man, that they're, obviously this has to be real. This has to be Hank Moody's son, man. All right. And then Levon goes in for this hug on Hank Moody, and then all of a sudden they walk inside, and then they start talking, and Levon's like, "Oh, this is your house and stuff?" He's like, "Yeah, this is it. This is the setup. I don't really get girls over here a lot or whatever. I guys got major issues or whatever." And then all of a sudden you hear like this noise in the background, and then and then the girl walks in. There's this girl that walks in, and it's like, "What?" Yeah. Levon lives with his mom, okay? And then Levon's like, "Mom, Dad, don't freak out, but yeah, this is it." And he's like, "You live with your mom?" He's like, "Yeah, obviously." And he's like, "You could have mentioned that." And it's absolutely hilarious, man. So they end up meeting, okay? She runs into the bathroom after she notices that Hank Moody is there. She runs inside of there. She runs back into the back. Levon convinces Hank to stay, and then his mom comes back out into the main room, and it's hilarious, man. She walks up to him and she's like, "Hank, hi, nice to see you." And he's like, "Hey, Julia, how are you doing? Great to see you." And then she says, "I'll be in touch." And he's like, "How do you mean?" He's like, well, then she's like, "This is a lot to process." Yeah. "Hey, Hank, how you doing? Hey, Julia, nice to see you. I'll be in touch." Yeah, it's just stuff like that, man. Stuff like that makes the show so amazing, man. The writing in this show is just perfect, man. It's absolutely perfect, man. So they end up talking for a little bit, and they decide to hang out a little bit later. Hank goes back over to the office where they kind of show you what goes on inside of a writer's room, if you will. And the boss starts kind of laying in on this dude who's taking pictures of his sandwich, his burger, his meal. And he's like, "What are you taking your picture for?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, it's just such a gorgeous burger." And then the girl next to him says, "Oh, yeah, it is a gorgeous burger. #lunch." And then what's kind of brilliant about this is that the writers are sitting here talking about people who are taking pictures of their food, and it's a jab at people that are on Instagram and on Twitter, Facebook, etc., man. And he's like, "How about this? How about you eat your food, and how about I have one moment towards my in my life to where I don't have to witness some idiot posting and tweeting and etc. and doing all this other stuff, Instagramming pictures of their food." And it's just, and then he's like, "How about you do this?" He's like, "How about you do better He said, no tweeting, no Instagram, and actually do something productive with your life or something, man. It's absolutely hilarious, man. It's the dude off of Sopranos, man. It's the dude off of Sopranos, like Tony's nephew or whatever, but he's all grown up now with gray hair, and it's just crazy. Anyway, man, he asks everybody to go around the table, man, to open up, and Hank Moody's kind of quiet. He's like, Hank, don't be quiet, we need you to kind of open up. This is what we do here. And he's like, tell us what's going on. And then Hank informs the group and stuff that, that he just recently found out that he's fathered a child in a relationship that was 20 years ago. And then all of a sudden, they start going around the table again, using his idea to kind of get ideas for the show, etc. And then this girl has this reaction, okay, to a gluten-free food. Somebody gives her non-gluten-free food, and she has allergic reaction, man. They also give a little nod, man, back to the face puncher. And if you guys are familiar with Californication, you understand what I'm talking about there. And they kind of not really poke fun of it, but they kind of say, well, Hank, we kind of, everybody knows that you're kind of famous, man. You're famous because of that rape thing that went on, when you got accused of rape because of the face puncher, the girl who was at a young age girl. It really wasn't that, but it was just because she was jealous, etc., because Hank didn't want to have a relationship with her, and that stuff gets brung up, man. Then what ends up happening, man, is they kind of go to this bar scene where Julia and Hank, they get reintroduced, and they say they're going to try to work together, to help raise the kid, and, Julia doesn't want to hear that. She wants Hank Moody to leave, which kind of challenges him because she says that he's going to be pretty much a worthless dad, a deadbeat dad. He doesn't have to have this responsibility, so she's actually going to give him the option of leaving. Then all of a sudden you cut back over to Marcy and Charlie. They are still having performance issues, so she pops him a blue pill, and yeah, all of a sudden Hank calls up Charlie, and he's like, and this is like perfect timing. Hank calls up Charlie, tells Charlie that he wants to leave his job. Marcy just gave him the blue pill. Charlie's like, listen, don't do it. Hank's like, whatever, man, it's done. I'm leaving. Then all of a sudden you see Levon is at the the guard gate, trying to get in. The security guards aren't letting them in. Then all of a sudden, Hank Moody sees him, and he's like, look, man, can I come work with you? Can I do something with you? Can we hang out or whatever? And then that leads Hank Moody to kind of, instead of giving up on the situation that he has with Levon, and, since he's feeling bad about what Julia just said to him about him, being a deadbeat dad, you can take the easy route out, and you don't have to do what we know you're going to do anyway. He kind of looks at Levon. He hears Levon's story about him having problems with women, and him never having a date, him not having a job, etc., and him just being such a weird little guy. He's like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So he walks back in the office. Charlie had already called his boss, and Charlie told his Hank's boss that he's been killed in a car accident. He's been in a bad tragic car accident or something like that. And Hank's like, no, you can't listen to that guy. He's crazy. All right, so Levon is inside the office. Hank is inside the office, explaining to his boss that, he just wanted to show his son, his new job, and, get to know him a little bit and spend some time with him. All of a sudden, man, Charlie runs inside the office. He's like, Hank, thank God you're okay, And then all of a sudden, this is where it gets crazy at. Charlie, who has the blue pill inside of him, okay, Viagra, he gets an erection. Yeah. And it's just crazy. From that point on, man, it's nuts, man. He thinks he's having a heart attack, but it's not a heart attack. It's just the Viagra working. And therefore, yeah, there's this young, hot writer in the office, man, that comes to his aid. And it's just the most embarrassing. Charlie, the character of Charlie I'm telling you, man, you'll absolutely love him. You either love him, or sometimes you might even hate him, but you'll die laughing because the acting, for one, is just, it's perfection. It's so awkward. It's so strange. It's so weird. but you will love this character, man. And yeah, it just makes you look away because you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened again, man. All of a sudden, man, we go to Hank Moody's house. Hank is sitting there playing the guitar. The doorbell rings. I'm thinking it's Karen, but it's not Karen. It's Julia. Julia comes in. She asks Hank, man, to play a little tune. Hank says, I'm shy. All of a sudden, the doorbell rings. And this is the moment I've been waiting for. It's Karen. And then all of a sudden, my heart just kind of breaks, man. I'm not going to lie. It's just, this sucks, man. But Karen, she opens the door. She's so happy. She's smiling. Absolutely a beautiful angel, perfection. And Hank goes, he hugs her, you know, and he embraces her for about a good 10 to 15 seconds. And he says, hey, we got to talk about something. There's somebody you got to meet. And then he turns her around and she sees Julia. And then she says, oh, no. And then the episode ends. And it's oh my gosh, man. It's just, it sucks, man. Because from episode 1 in this season, we're going all the way up on the roller coaster, man. We're just going up. And now all of a sudden we hit that peak. And now from here, it seems like there's going to be disaster and a train wreck, man. It's so sad, man. It's absolutely so sad. I don't know what else I can say to define it, man. It's crazy, man. It's so crazy. But next week looks good, man. It looks like some more answers are gonna be questions are gonna be answered. We get some more Santa Monica Cop. Once again, Hank Moody gets placed in some really awkward situations, man, and some moments that shouldn't happen because Hank Moody's supposed to be changing, but I guess, you know, old habits continue inside of Hank Moody's life, man. And yeah, next Sunday, guys, I'll have another podcast uploaded. Once again, man, thanks again for listening. And yeah, I just hit overtime, man, so that's what that little sound is. I thank you guys again for listening, and man, I was like almost 20 minutes, man. I guess that's how much I like the show, man. Really, I love it. It's absolutely awesome. And then